So then we'll move on to the today's session topics. So today's session we are going to discuss about work storage area, which is actually a vast area and having a lot of advantages using this module. After that we'll proceed with the payroll side of fast formulas. We'll see the areas where exactly the fast formulas will get used in the payroll area. Right. So the first thing, work storage area, that is it's known as WSA. So if you see any of the Oracle delivered formulas, you will see WSA used extensively in all sort of formulas. So especially more into the payroll side of formulas. So if you open any of the Oracle delivered formulas, you will see this WSA variable. So we'll see what exactly this is and how we can make use of this formula to increase the performance or to increase our standards of the code, right? So this working storage area is a mechanism for storing values across the formulas. So this works as a global variables or a global values. So you know that in all the coding functions, in all the coding languages, so you do have global variable concept, right? So you declare a variable and one formulas, and you can call that formula or you can use that variable across all multiple fast formulas. So that is called as global variable, right? So here in fast formula also we do have that kind of functionality. So we can use so that functionality name is little different. We call that functionality as WSA, working storage area. So here in the working storage area, you can use the variables. You can declare a variable in one fast formula, and you can call that values, or you can use that values in multiple other fast formulas, right? So in our previous session, we saw that the one fast formula can call another fast formula, right? So to do that, we were using call functions. We were using execute functions, right? So even while executing the functions, we were using couple of input variables. So to get those or to read the values from one fast formula, and using that input values, we were executing the other fast formula and getting the final output. But in this case, you don't have to do that. You don't have to use execute function. You don't have to use set input variables, or you don't have to do get output variable. So without that, you can call another formula and you can do the calculation. So that is this working storage area. So here we'll see how exactly we can achieve that. So without using the execute function, right? So the values are accessed by name. So and the names are case independent. So here the names are nothing but so working storage areas. You have to declare an item. You have to define each of the item. So for example, so if you want to pass salary information to another fast formula, you need to declare the salary as an item. So you need to give a name for that item. So that using that item, you can use that value in multiple across different fast formulas. So that name, the item name that you are gonna give is actually a case independent, and use the working storage area statement to store the reference data within the fast formulas. So we'll see the syntax of the working storage area, and we'll see a working example of how exactly it works, right? So the first thing is we'll see the syntax WSA. So there are total 4 items or 4 syntaxes that we need to note. So the first one is WSA exists. So this function will check whether an value exists or not. So within this WSA function, you will pass an item name, so which actually checks for that item, whether that item is existing or you have declared that item previously or not. If that item is existing, then you will get that value, or if the item doesn't exist, it will tell you whether it exists or not. It will return you Y or M. And the second syntax is WSA delete. So you can delete the item after you use that. So once you define that item, you can make use of that item values. So after the use, you can try to delete it using a delete function. So if you don't specify the item name, it will try to delete the entire your WSA, or it will try to delete all the values of WSA. And the third syntax is WSA get. So this function is used to get a value for that particular item. So the syntax is item and value. So it will look for that item. If there is any item existing, then you will get the value for that item assigned. If that item doesn't exist, then you will get the default value. And WSS set. So this function will be used to set an item, to define an item. So you can store the value by defining an item using WSS set function. So we'll see how exactly this works. And here is a small example that I have given. So in this example, so rate hourly is a WSA item name, so which got defined in the previous first formula. So let's say first formula 1 and first formula 2. So in first formula 1, I have declared this item name using WSS set, and let's say I assigned 50 as $50 for this variable. So how I can assign, use this? I can set the variables like something like this. So I will give 50 as a value for this hourly rate. So when you call this function, so this hourly rate, the function will try to look whether this item exists or not. So if this item is already been set in your first formula, then it will try to fetch the value which got assigned for this variable. So this is nothing but an array. You can try to relate the concept just like an array. So this is an array item. So the WSA get will try to look for this item, existence of this item. If it is existing, then you will get a final output. You will get the value. If this variable is not existing, then you will get the default value. So in this case, hourly, so you will get the hourly rate value is $50, and so wage. So this will try to multiply the hourly and rate and hours worked, and it will try to return the final wage. So I have actually given in written a first formula here to this is the first formula. So you can specify the same first formula here in the document example for first formula document also. So where this is let's say there is a scenario. So where so this is a compensation related first formula. So where you want to calculate the bonus for all the associates. Based on the salary, so the bonus you have to give 20% of bonus or salary hike based on the annual FTE. Based on the annual salary, on top of annual salary, you need to give 20% of bonus. So this is the context. So you can do this coding using this WSA. So here in this logic, so I just copied the same code into Notepad++, just so that you can read it easily. Yeah. So I have taken two first formulas here. The first formula is actually the FTE salary to calculate the salary amount, and the second first formula is to calculate the bonus. Right. So in the salary first formula, I have taken the we can read this first formula. So where I have taken the salary amount and FTE or assignment FTE, and inputs are start date and end date. So I'm trying to, if you can see, I have used log writing. So as wherever it is possible, because you can use this ESS log write. You can print this in the log file to validate the result. So that's for validation purpose. So here, so these are the two database items, and input variables are start date and end date, and compensation date I have taken as end date here. So value, this is a local variable. I have assigned the 0 as a value, and the first thing I'm checking whether the salary amount, whether the annual salary is defaulted or not. So no, if definitely this will get executed, because almost all the associates will be having defined annual salary amount. So once this satisfies, it will come inside. So then I'm assigning salary amount to a local variable. After that, I'm checking whether this assignment FTE is defaulted or not. So if this is not defaulted, then it will try to fetch the actual associate's FTE value and try to multiply that with the annual salary. After that, I'm trying to print that amount here, the salary amount is. So you can view this in the log file. And after that, I'm trying to use the WSA function here. I'm setting a variable. So if you see, this is a WSA function. So this is the name of the WSA variable. So what exactly happens behind the code is, it will try to declare this variable, and so this is nothing but a local variable. So this is a local variable which gets defined globally. So you can use this variable to fetch the value across multiple FAST formulas, even without calling any input functions. So behind the code, this is what happens. It will try to accumulate the value, the final FTE value, let's say $100,000. It assigns $1,000 to this variable. So wherever if you want to fetch the value of this variable, you will get 1000 as a value. So this variable is set. So you define this local variable and you assign the value to it. Else, so if there is no annual salary amount, then it will try to give 0 as a value, right? Because there is value I assigned, like before if statement I assigned 0 to a value, it will try to assign 0 for this local variable. The same for the same local variable, it will assign 0 as a value if this statement executes. And so we came to the end of the FAST formula. So here, so one thing to keep in mind, so this FAST formula executes first. After that, there is one more FAST formula, that is a bonus test formula which executes. So there is no calling function between this formula. So your annual formula is one thing and bonus formula is a separate thing. So in this are all in the setup page. So your actual salary execution done. After that, you will call the bonus FAST formula or the bonus element. So once you execute that bonus FAST formula, so this is what happens. So it will try to get the input values and compensation date is defined. So value equal to 0. Here I am going to use the same local variable that I declared in the previous formula. If you see the same local variable I'm using here, I'm checking using the exist function. So if you see, this is the same variable which I defined in the previous FAST formula. So this function WSA exist will check whether this local variable exists or not. So if it is defined in any of the formulas, it will try to check in all the formulas. So if you see, there is no FAST formula name mentioned in either of this, right? So the moment you give this WSA exist, it will try to look for this variable across all the FAST formulas. So you can see that both the type can be different. So this variable can be defined in a payroll side of FAST formulas, or this local variable might be in HR side of FAST formulas. So it's always, one thing is you have to always make sure your name, that local variable name that you are giving, is unique. So you can, to make it unique, you can give that your formula name, or you can give your company name and your formula type or the purpose of the formula. So this is one thing. So it will try to look for this variable existence. If the variable is existing, then it will enter the if clause and it will try to get the value assigned for this variable. So if you see, this is the function that I have used here, that is WSA get. So when you use this WSA get, it will try to look for the variable's value. So you can, if you see in the previous formula, I assigned $1,000 to this variable. So you will get that $1,000 in this get function. So the value variable, the local variable, will get 1000 as a value. And after that, if value is not equal to 0, then I will do this 0.20, because I want to give 20% of hike to all the associates, for all the associates who are having across the company. So there's no restriction for that. So for that, I just look for whether the salary amount is greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, I will give into 0.20. And after that, I am trying to delete the local variable. So there are two things to note. One, so try to give the unique name for your local variable. So whenever you use it, whenever you are declaring a WSA element. And second thing, so once you use that variable, try to delete it. So if you see, the WSA delete. So it will try to give this 20% hike for that associate, and it deleted that element. So this happens for one associate. So when the second associate, when you execute this first formula, again you are going to declare it, because WSA set is there. Again, you will declare the variable and you will assign the value. And again, for the second associate, when the bonus element gets executed, so you will get a value for this variable and you will get the bonus assigned, a bonus calculation. And after that, you will delete the local variable. So this happens sequentially. This cyclic process continues for all the associates. So you can use this feature to call like multiple times. You can call this for looping purpose. So why we have to delete is, so if you see this annual FTE, the salary calculation and bonus calculation first formula will execute for all associates. If you have 10 associates, both the formula will execute 10 times for each associate, right? So, so the moment you, so for the, let's say for the first associate, this portion of the formula executes, you declare the local variable, and you will come back to the other formula and you will try to execute bonus area. And so it is always suggested to delete because if you are using the similar name in any of the other formulas, so it should not override the values. It should not create any trouble to the other calculations. So just to make sure it is not harming any functionality of other first formulas, it is suggested to delete it. So that is the only benefit, that is the only advantage to delete it. Because you think that you created this formula name uniquely, but so there might be, because there are many developers who are trying to use that WSA usage, and if they also create WSA variable in the same name, in a similar name format, then you might get an invalid result, because when you execute your formula and when someone is executing the different formula, and so when you see this variable is already existing, so then in that moment you might get a different or false results. So just to avoid that, it always suggested to delete the WSA, because WSA is it's a global variable, right? You can use this variable across all the formulas and all the different types.
And how does Fusion know it first has to set the data and then he gets it? Because you said in the example first you go to the new 32, indeed, this one, and then it runs the other formula. But how does Fusion know?
Okay, so here both the formulas, the salary calculation formula and bonus calculation formula, are executed one after the other. So for example, so compensation, let's say, so this formula is assigned to one element and this formula is assigned to one element. So in the payroll side, if you see, all this formula calculation happens in the, like all these first formulas will get attached to elements, and in elements we do have a priorities. So you can declare element priorities, so based on the order you want to execute it. So if you want to execute, like when, because here our requirement is to execute this one after the other. So the first, for an associate, you need to execute salary formula. After that, you want to execute bonus formula. So in this case, I will give the salary first formula, the salary element, the one priority, the lowest priority, sorry, highest priority, and bonus as a least priority. So the moment the highest priority element comes, it will try to execute that first. After that, it will try to execute the least priority element. So because here, if you see, there is no execute function, we are not calling any functions, we are just declaring a local variable, or you can call it as a global variable, and we are using that global variable in another formula. So, but we are not using any, we are not calling any formulas, so there's no link between both the formulas.